Hello everybody, in this video we're going to take a tour of my office and it's also going to be a channel update video. Okay, so the first thing we'll look at is my desk setup and you'll notice that it is a mess. And I kind of decided to not tidy it up for this video. This is pretty typical to the way it is, to be honest. So yeah, I've got two desks basically. I've got this corner desk here. This is the main one that I work at. If you see live streams or whatever, this is where I would be streaming from. There's my camera there on its little IKEA lamp mount with a couple of GoPro adapters. So this was one of the best things I did on my channel, because I use that for live streams and videos mainly. So it has a lot of movement and it doesn't get in my way when I'm soldering or whatever. For my monitors, I have a Cat Leap monitor that I bought on eBay. It must be nearly 10 years ago. If it's not, it's a 27-inch monitor. It only works with dual link DVI, which is kind of weird. My new computer doesn't support it, but Colin Hickey actually had an adapter to convert, I think it was display link to dual link DVI or display port to dual link DVI. So thank you, Colin. And then this is I think a 30-inch monitor. Yeah, it's fine. This is a 4K monitor. Well, this one's a 1440p monitor. Yeah, they're fine. Yeah, so there's my two computers under my desk. The one on the left there is my old one, and the black one there, which you can't really see very well, is the one that I built in July of last year, I guess. So what's on the desk here? This is a box from Kevin Dara. It's his trig board, so I'm looking forward to taking a look at that. And then this desk was always kind of an overflow desk. It's not as, it's a cheap kind of IKEA board, but yeah, it was perfectly fine, other than it just is always where the mess goes up on top of. But it also hosts my 3D printer, which yeah, works great anytime I use it. Very happy with the Ender. Definitely worked much better than any of my previous 3D printers. So directly above that kind of spare desk, I have this pegboard, and I really like this. I think if you have a 3D printer, this pegboard is great because you can print kind of whatever you want. So like I've custom mounts for my multimeters. I don't know where the other one is, but it's missing. You can see that I have some tools here, but a few were missing as well. I don't know why that is. Got my files there. And this is where I keep my solder. I can keep some USB cables. So yeah, I really like it. That's a mount for my filament. It doesn't work great with this filament. Most of the filament I have is a little bit shorter, so there's kind of a lip, you can see it on this one, that would normally be out past the thing, but it's not on this one, so, but that's fine. So yeah, really like the pegboard. I have some more of it somewhere else, but yeah, we'll get to that in a second. So then above that is the shelves. Yeah, like I have a ton of these boxes, as you can see, and I mainly keep kind of half-baked projects in them, or sometimes things that just won't fit in the component drawers above. Like say resistors, I've so many different types of resistors. It doesn't fit nicely in there, and I don't really use resistors like that too often, so yeah, I just throw them in there. And then things like kind of half-finished projects or projects that are finished even. So the HC05 flasher, that's the video I did about flashing a HID firmware onto the HC05. I will probably never do that again, but you know, it's there if I ever need it. And then I built this kind of weird under desk thing. This is where I would kind of stick my Mac or whatever. Sometimes there's cables up here, so I could charge phones or power banks up there as well. Then over here we've got a bigger desk, or bigger desk, a bigger shelf. And I've got a toaster oven on it that I have been meaning to turn into a solder reflow. You can see in that box there I have one of Unexpected Maker's reflow masters, but it is not in this thing and probably won't be for another few weeks or months. So yeah, some stage we'll do it. Then I have a couple of these kind of cuppy things from IKEA. I don't think you can get these ones anymore, but you can still get those ones. And I bought some threaded rod for repairing a 3D printer, and I had some left over, and I just mounted it to the wall on kind of, I don't know what these are called, O hooks or something. You know, the screw one end and just a hook on the other, or a full O on the other. So yeah, that works pretty well, I think. Yeah. So then above that, I've got component drawers, a big rake of component drawers. There's some kind of order on them. That's more sort of mechanically type parts, like terminal blocks, connectors, audio jacks, that type of thing. That's mainly kind of DuPont wires are in the bottom four, and some other kind of bigger stuff that won't fit. This one here is kind of passives, mainly through hole passives, like transistors and diodes and that type of thing. There's some LEDs down the bottom. Then over here is mainly where the MCUs type things are. So there's, what do we have here? We've got generic ESP, other ESP, Wemos D1 Mini, ESP32s, different Arduinos and shields and stuff. Got some ESP32 stuff over here, one for the Tiny Pico, one for the debug. And then I kind of have some power stuff here, like level shifters, step down, step up, adjustable DCs, things like that. Some breadboards up there. This one is more for where, like, I don't know, modules and kind of screens and stuff hang out. Yeah, so after this one, it starts to get pretty random. I don't have them as well labeled or anything, but kind of, yeah, random stuff starts coming into here. Some of them are labeled, some of them aren't. And then this one is a real free-for-all. Although I do have kind of some pre-programmed at Tiny's. You see the finger at Tiny 13, that's from my, should have used the 555 board, and then the at Tiny 13 for the PCB3. So they're kind of pre-programmed ones. I don't even know if there's any in them anymore, but yeah. And then there's some other things that I do use in kits a lot, like 220K through hole resistors and things like that. Over here, we're kind of getting into Tindy Section. So this is where I mainly keep stock of my Tindy stuff. What's in the box there is PCB3 kits. So there's some 10-pin IDC wires there. There are for the debug boards. There's 16-pin IDC wires. They're for the matrix kits if people need them. And then here are kind of all the stuff that I sell kind of regularly. Stock looks relatively low on these. It isn't really. I'll show you in a minute. Then I also have, like, these are where I keep most of the add-on stuff for the kits. So, like I said, the blue screw terminals, red and black screw terminals, the pixel purse connector, they're all for the matrix things. So yeah, that's where I kind of keep them. I like these boxes, but the fact that they all have lids is a little bit annoying, because, like, if I want a blue connector, I need to pull out the box, take off the lid, and then, you know, I'll probably move to something more like that at some stage when I get them. And yeah, so I just attached the sticker of the kit that should be there. It looks quite nice, I think, and there's some cardboard up the back to kind of show the ones that are at the back. The thing I'm using for the stickers is this Brother CQL 700. I absolutely love it. It was one of the best things I ever bought from a Tindy perspective. It was like £50, and I have absolutely got my money's worth out of it already. So yeah, that's all the Tindy stuff. Well, I lied when I said that's all the Tindy stuff, because there's a ton of Tindy stuff here. So postage is where I keep, like, my envelopes and kind of CN22 stickers and that sort of stuff. So up above that you see a load of LCSE boxes there where I keep some parts. Above that is kind of some mounts that I use for like cameras and things. I don't use them that often though. And then in these boxes here that I got in like a local kind of cheap store, I like these a lot because so this is a Calyx unit from IKEA, but I can fit 6 of these boxes in here, so pretty nicely. So I have a lot of these boxes, and mostly they're filled with one of those type of kits. So like if I buy, you know, a tiny Pico matrix like PCBs, they'll go into this box. So you can see I have some there. I also have more bags of them, so kits of them. So ones that won't fit on the shelf behind us that we already looked at, I throw in here, so I kind of have an overflow of them as well. So that's what I meant by I amn't as low on stock as I look there. And then, yeah, so I just have tons of different stuff here. A lot of them are to do with Tindy kits. Some of them aren't, though. So these two are not projects that I've released yet. So Wi-Fi 7 segment, I would have shown that on streams before, back in 2018. The ESP32 I2C or I2S matrix board, I've shown that on one of my recent streams as well. Still not finalized the board design for that though. Then this is from other makers, so it's basically like a graveyard of things I buy from other makers. I will get to them at some stage. You can see Mr. David Watts's Don't Panic badge there. And yeah, there's a ton of stuff from other people in that. And then more kind of Tindy stuff, so part bag components. All the matrix boards all have like a little baggie of parts that have the resistor and the capacitor and the barrel jack connector and stuff. So my wife actually makes up bags of them, like maybe even like 100 at a time and stuff. So that's all the components from that. The alarm clock, then solder and just random stuff. And then this is kind of more of a random assortment of things. So 063 LEDs, so they're reels of them, I think, and more reels there. So yeah, just random stuff, nearly all to do with Tindy. Then above that, I've kind of boxes of like camera and lights and kind of adapters and stuff like that, all to do with recording videos and stuff. They're two kind of junk boxes, and they're where I keep all my receipts for things so I can be a good citizen and pay my taxes and all the Tindy stuff. Well, it's the opposite of paying my taxes when I do that stuff. I'm trying to get as much money back as possible when I put in business expenses. So here is more Tindy stuff basically, and these ones here. This is where I keep like kind of packaging and stuff. So like the anti-static bags. I also keep some spare packaging that I get from stuff, just if there's anything that I need to package up a bit better or whatever, it's handy to have it. And then here I keep, up here I have phone cables and USB cables, and then there's like HDMI and audio cables in a box behind it. And then here I keep some random power supplies, so I have 5 volt, 12 volt, and then 2 boxes of kind of random power supplies behind it. Here is my screwdriver set that I use a lot actually. You would have seen a more expensive screwdriver set over there earlier. That, well, what is it? Vera one. That was much more expensive than this one, but I actually use this one more just because it comes in this nice stand. So yeah, weird. I've got these smart plugs that I should be able to flash with Tasmota. That's a project for later. Then more pegboard here, find it quite handy. And here's my rechargeable battery station and 3D printed things for holding my charged rechargeable batteries. You would have seen this whiteboard in the background quite a lot. I don't keep this as up to date as I should. For example, that video is done, that video is done. That is not done or even fully fledged out. Not done, not done, not done, not done. Do they look interesting? Up the top, it's more kind of junky stuff. Uh, there are two boxes of kits of the Matrix ones, the ESP32 and the D1 Mini. So I am hugely overstocked of them in terms of how many kits I have. But you know, it's kind of sometimes it's almost as easy to do loads of them up front because there's the same like you have to take out all the stuff to do the packing. So that's kind of standard time no matter how many you pack. So it's a little bit more efficient to pack multiples of them. I have a power supply. That's kind of a new addition at the end of last year. I've used it a couple of times. It's handy when you need it or whatever. You know, what else do I have up here? I have some older projects and things like that. So there's some labels from my label printer. There's some like the Google Maps project is there. I think that wooden one there is the one that I did for Hackspace, the Daddy's Coming Home meter, which sounds weird when I say it like that, but yeah. A couple of matrices, Bluetooth speaker, or not Bluetooth speaker, an old iPod speaker that I've been meaning to convert to stuff, and then some more random garbage up there. So under my desk, more mess. We've got, yes, that's my extractor fan, which is quite loud, as people would have heard on a previous stream. But yeah, it seems to work pretty well. Might do a review of that if people are interested. A really old laser printer that's a network one. I use it whenever, you know, printing off flight things and things, but I don't even need to print them off too much anymore. An all-in-one scanner thing, and there's all my filament for the 3D printer. May as well show more of the mess that's down here. These are just boxes from... They are for like external hard drives, but I shucked the drives for them for my NAS. So there's 4 8 TB drives gone into my NAS. The reason I used them over buying internal hard drives is they were way cheaper, like £100 cheaper. In the box there is envelopes for Tindy stuff. That's the head of the extractor fan. That's a portable light that I sometimes use for videos. I mainly use it for doing like DIY stuff because it has the battery. It's a great source of light whenever you need it, but normally that would be up there and hanging down above my desk. More envelopes, so they're the giant envelopes that don't fit in the post box, so I need to go to the post office to send them ones. So at the moment I'm not using them at all. Then just more crap here in the middle of the floor. And then we've got this wardrobe, which doesn't have Evan Kale in it. That's a big box of components that I bought for Tindy kits. Big boxes of wires and stuff. Some random crap, some board games, my hot air station, my backup hot air station with soldering iron. That was somehow cheaper than buying just another hot air station. I use the hot air stations when I'm assembling power blockers for TH3D's orders, and I kind of realized at one stage that I have literally no redundancy if this one broke, so I ended up getting a second one. There's not really much in here other than some tripods and bags and stuff. And then up here, just more parts and crap. Yes. And that's pretty much the tour. I don't really have anything else to show. But yeah, so for the channel update, basically this is probably the last time you'll see this office, because it's probably the last time I'll see this office, because I have to move it because we bought a house and we are in the process of moving now. This is the last room that basically hasn't been touched because I was working here up till Thursday or so, over after getting internet installed in the new house. So yeah, there's kind of nothing tying us to this house anymore. So yeah, I probably still have some clips of kind of videos and stuff that was recorded here that might make it into videos in the future. But yeah, other than that, I will not be recording anything else here. So yeah, kind of weird. Every video you've seen up to this point has been recorded in this office, probably at that desk, wherever. I can't blog, but yeah. So weird. Excited about moving. Not excited about moving all this stuff though. It's going to be a pain, especially because due to the times we do not have anyone helping us move. We're doing it ourselves, so yeah, might take a while. Definitely quite a few carloads, but yeah, exciting times. I will not be releasing many videos during this time because of moving, basically. So, I'm working from home, which I'm lucky to be able to do, but then in the evenings I'm moving or tidying or doing whatever. So, yeah, that's why I've been a bit quiet on the video front. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Just want to say thank you to everybody who's checked out videos that were made here for the last 3.5 years or whatever it was. Hopefully in the new house we'll get to make a lot more videos and hopefully we'll have fun doing it. So thanks a lot everybody, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.